A lot of people ask me, Bruce, why the heck do you do this? And sometimes I ask myself that same question. But yesterday answered that question for me. Gabriel and I had a meeting. I've talked about Gabriel before. We started to work together in August of 2019. Little thing called COVID came along after we started working together, and he had 14 LOIs that he had put together blow up in his face, 14 of them. Ask yourself, would you have continued on if you had met that kind of temporary defeat, which was temporary in his case? And the answer for most people is they would have quit. He didn't. So as I look at what he's done since that August of 19 meeting, a year ago, he was able to leave his job. He now has 31 locations. His life has changed for the better, obviously, and it's great to see that success. But I wanted to read two things to you that I think really point out an awful lot of the reason behind his success. The first one's from Napoleon Hill, from The Law of Success. And in that he wrote, "I am convinced that failure is nature's plan through which she hurdle jumps men of destiny and prepares them to do their work. Failure is nature's great crucible in which she burns the dross from the human heart and so purifies the metal of the man that it can stand the test of hard usage. We would cease to fear or run away from trying experiences if we observed from the biographies of men of destiny that nearly every one of them was sorely tried and run through the mill of merciless experience before he, quote, unquote, arrived. This leads me to wonder if the hand of fate does not test the metal of which we are made in various and sundry ways before placing great responsibility upon our shoulders." Well, I don't know if it's fate, but I do know that as I look at people that have succeeded, most of them have been through the mill, and certainly that is the case with Gabriel. Again, 14 LOIs. He didn't whine, he didn't complain. We focused on what to do next, how to push forward, how to work, and kind of the rest is history. He wrote me an email back in April of this year, and he had been honored with an award for being a top entrepreneur. He was asked to give a speech, which he did. And I wrote to him and I said, "Gabriel, great to see your life continuing to get better and better. Keep pushing." And he wrote back to me, "Wouldn't be like that without you and your help, and I mean it. Thanks, Gabriel." For whatever part I played in his success, I'm grateful for that. I'm glad to see his success. Again, he did the heavy lifting. He did the work. He stuck at it. He followed the steps. All of those things he did. And the results show the success of that hard work. Ask yourself, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to go through for the success you think you want? One of the things that's really gratifying for me is to look at Gabriel now, and he was confident when I met him in August of 2019. But he's continued to grow personally and professionally. He's gotten more and more confidence. Success does that. He's become a better and better executive. The experience has done that. He's got his share of problems. When you have a 300-person organization, you're going to have problems every day. You get better at handling them. You have more confidence that you'll come out with a solution to them. And he's done all of those things. So I see in him an awful lot of the reason that someone is successful. They don't let the temporary defeats push them aside and make them quit. They persevere. As he once said to me, "Bruce, you got to hang around long enough for the good stuff to happen." Boy, is that ever true in his case. So I am glad to see where he is, where he's headed, the success he's had and will have. He followed the steps. He asked for counsel. He put together a good board, which was incredibly important as well. He's done all of those things. He's made changes in people when he needed to. He's been careful about the deals that he's taken. Doesn't have a bad deal, which is in 31 locations, pretty impressive. So he continues to follow the steps. I would encourage you, if you want to do this, to follow the steps as well. If you don't know what those are and how to do them, I'm in the process right now of doing the Acquisition Advantage Bootcamp. We've been through 3 sessions live. They are recorded and placed in Kajabi, so if you want to join us and have missed those, you still have access to those. 4 more over 4 weeks will be live. So if you want to look at that, go over to brucewhipple.com, go to the Bootcamp section, and you'll see the Acquisition Advantage Bootcamp. But again, in answer to the question, why do I do this? That conversation yesterday with Gabriel is a great example of why I do this. So I'm honored to work with him. I love seeing his success and continued success. And success does leave clues. So there's a ton of lessons that in what I've just said and his success you could pick up and benefit from as well. If you are willing to do the work, if you're focused on where you want to get to, the reason you want that success, etc., etc. But take a look at those people that have been successful and realize that they've been tested along the way. They've had failures along the way. And in almost every case that I can recall, I see that to be a common thread towards being successful. As I've said many times, you will fail your way to success. I can't guarantee your success, but I can show you how people who have been successful have done it, and take those lessons from that success and implement them into what you're doing.